When I come back like Jordan, wearing the 4-5.
The shit a motherfucking layup. I been Steph Curry with the shot, been cooking with the sauce, Chef Curry with the pot, boy.
Ain't on the same block with a shack like Yao Ming.
Y'all niggas playing basic ball. I'm on the block like I'm 8 feet tall.
Baller, I'm a 20-inch crawler, blaze on them collar, diamond drop wall.
More than a street legend, homie, it's Hova. More than a relief pitcher, I'm the closer. The Mariano of the Marriott.
The shit she kick, all the shit's legit. She get dick from a player off the New York Knicks.
It was about Anthony Mason, rest in peace.
Oh,
so
like,
like,
we got it. We got it.
We
So
just
you
got
know.
Yo, cause when it comes to flavor, see you can't taste mine, so don't waste time, cause I can take you baseline to baseline. I got loot, see I see how them stars feel. Back in the days, I caught wreck as a Tar Heel.
Baller, I'm a 20-inch crawler, blaze on them collar, diamond drop wall.
I love and I hate bitches that let me fuck on the first night over a drink in the spotlight. She saying it's all yours, but something is not right. She barely know who I am, but ready to be my wife.
Baller, I'm a 20-inch crawler, blaze on them collar, diamond drop wall. Baller, shot caller.
Captain America rep number 8, stay suited up in armor plates. I'm off the Richter like earthquakes, bang G's and I record break like a broken leg. I just don't play. Group of death, we in no grave, still seeing through a hater, no x-rays. R.I.P. to that Dub K. Fear pack, stay wearing MJs. Got the game in check, don't get checkmate. Try to hold me back, a man's held away. Flip the script and got Pepsi paid.
Night falls. Hear voice call my name. Was voice of God. Hip hop, basketball, genie. I'm mixing ball and rap. Your ass best hook me up a squad. New York, Detroit, L.A., Oakland. I'm probing for smoking rhymes. Ankles left broken, soaking with sweat. Torn up nets above the rim. Brothers get open. Found them soldiers. Had them catch wreck on a record. Fly production. What's in it for me? Rap B-ball G? Spot in hip-hop heaven.
The old saying goes, ballers want to be rappers and rappers want to be ballers. Hip-hop and sports go hand in hand like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Hip-hop's history cannot be told without sports. And sports history, especially in the urban communities, cannot be told without hip-hop. While basketball seems to be more specific in its interconnected influence and has a lot of substance, which we will go over, we must understand that all sports is connected with hip-hop, not just basketball.
If it wasn't for the rap game, I'd probably have a key knee deep in the crack game, because the streets is a short stop. You either slinging crack rock or you got a wicked jump shot. Yo, y'all know we are in a hell of a groove when we get to open up back-to-back breakdowns with Biggie quotes. And what he was trying to say there is he felt there was a lack of opportunity for young people of color to escape their circumstances. He felt there were only two legal options, basketball and rap. And that may be why your favorite MC used to have high school hoop dreams, and most of the successful athletes who can turn into MCs are out of the NBA. But the connection is much deeper than that. Hip hop nowadays has a lot of corporate sponsors and new friends, and very few day one homies. Basketball is one of them. So is it time we made it official? Is basketball the fifth element of hip hop? Let's make sure everybody's familiar with the original 4 elements of hip hop: MCing, DJing, b-boying, and graffiti.
There is nothing new under the sun, as sports and music have ancient civilization ties to some of the oldest athletic events in history. In ancient Greece, music was a very important part of their culture, including when it came to athletic competitions such as the Olympics. Music was a feature at all Greek games. As with such events came large crowds, which made them ideal places for musicians to be. They could play their music and be in the public eye at the same time. Unlike the Olympics, and while the start date is disputed, the Pythian Games also featured competitions for art and dance, which predated the athletic portion of the games, and women were allowed to take part in some events. Victors received a wreath of bay laurel, sacred to Apollo, from the city of Tempe in Thessaly.
There were 4 main ancient Greek athletic games, which were the Pythia in Delphi that was dedicated to Apollo, the Isthmia, which was near Corinth, that was dedicated to Poseidon, the Nemea near Argos that was dedicated to both Zeus and Hercules, and Olympic in Olympia, which was dedicated to Zeus. The Pythian Games were held in honor of Apollo's defeat of the giant snake Pytho, and were second in importance to the Olympic Games. With Apollo being the god of music and the arts, there were athletic and artistic competitions, with the winner of the flute playing competition then performing the flute during the Olympics long jump competition. The stadium hosted the athletic competitions of the Pythian Games on the 5th day of the religious festival, which lasted 6 to 8 days. The charioteer in the Archaeological Sites Museum is a great example of the importance of the games. It was a monument erected in commemoration of a victory that took place in 478 or 474 BC by the family of the Syracusan tyrant.
Fights at the Colosseum often had their own soundtrack. Spectators thrilled to the sounds of trumpets, horns, and water organs, while gladiators tilted at exotic animals and, of course, each other. Music continued even when the emperor was deciding whether a hapless gladiator had shown enough grit to fight another day. The music was more than just entertainment for the audience, though. It also served as a cue for the stagehands. The music might tell them when to release a wild animal into the arena or when the next fight was about to start, sort of like how Stone Cold Steve Austin knew it was time to run into the ring. A lot of people, especially if they've seen the movie Gladiator, assume gladiators were all slaves or criminals convicted to die in the arena for Rome's entertainment. But that wasn't always the case. Some Romans actually signed up at gladiator schools to become professionals. For those who did, the benefits of being a victorious gladiator outweighed the inherent risks of the work. Gladiators were treated like celebrities in Rome, like modern athletes. Roman children could even buy clay action figures representing famous fighters. Victors sometimes had affairs with aristocratic women. Graffiti from Pompeii even bragged about their supposed prowess. Gladiator sweat was considered an aphrodisiac, so Romans sometimes mixed it into their face creams.
New York City, summer 1973. Hip-hop celebrates its birthday, but also the city is still on fire celebrating their New York Knicks' second NBA championship. Led by the great Walt Clyde the Glide Frazier, who in the same year linked up with Puma for his own signature shoe. It quickly became a hot item and staple among the growing b-boy community, which led to Puma becoming the official sponsor for the film Beat Street in 1984. Also in '84, rap's first worldwide superstar, Curtis Blow, drops this classic.
Now rapping basketball, #1, Curtis Blow. Basketball is my favorite sport. I like the way they dribble up and down the court.
It wasn't until 1991 when a rapper rocked a basketball jersey in a video. And of course, it was none other than the God MC of sports and hip-hop, Phife Dawg of the legendary Tribe Called Quest.
Tell your mother, tell your father, send a telegram. I'm like an energizer cause you see I last long. My crew is never ever whack because we stand strong.
As I mentioned earlier, a lot of professional ball players and rappers come out of the same neighborhoods. But it wasn't until 1992 that we see an NBA player in a rap video. It was when Diamond D got New York Knicks forward Anthony Mason to be in his best kept secret video. Roll the clip, James.
I'm not any of that. Black, see I'm the best kept secret. So yo, peep it, yeah.
And speaking of Anthony Mason, it has recently come to light that he was the NBA player mentioned in B.I.G.'s A Story to Tell.
The shit she kick, all the shit's legit. She get dick from a player off the New York Knicks.
It was about Anthony Mason, rest in peace.
Oh, it
So
was.
like,
We got it. We got it.
We
So
just
you
got it.
know.
We fucked in his bed, quite dangerous. I'm in his ass while he play against the Utah Jazz. My 112 CD blast, I was passed. She came twice, I came last, roll the grass. Call my niggas on the cell, bring some weed, I got a story to tell.
Yo, man, y'all niggas ain't gonna believe what the fuck happened to me. Remember that bitch I left the club with, man? Yeah. Yo, I'm up in this bitch crib, this bitch fuck with one of them old Nick ass niggas and shit. I'm up in the spot, so I don't know which one. One of them 6'5" niggas, I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, I'm up in the motherfucking spot, so boom, I'm up in the pussy, whatever. I spark some lie. I do creep sin up on some. Must have been rained out or something. It comes up in the spot. Had me scared. I was shook daddy, but I forgot I had my Roscoe on.
I regret saying that. I didn't know, I don't know if it was my place to say that. You know what I'm saying? And I just knew about it so much because I knew it. It was like, I don't know if it was my place to say that. I ain't taking nothing back. It is what it is. I'm just saying I don't know if it was my place to say that. But when I did the interview, it slid. And I didn't realize nobody else knew. Like, I thought everybody knew. So, when he's telling me, I'm like, yeah, then it was like, wait a minute, breaking news. And I was like, oh my God.
In the interview, you said, Big said what he said, but it wasn't what actually happened.
I don't know detail for detail. What I'm saying is I exaggerated music. All rappers exaggerate.
I exaggerated. All rappers exaggerate.
So I don't really know what I'm saying. I can't tell you, I can't tell you. I know the two parties involved.
As soon as this nigga comes up in the spot, flash the desert in his face, he drops the glass. Look like the nigga pissed on himself. This nigga runs dead to the floor, peels up the carpet, start giving me mad. Oh, shit. Mad. Yo, I put all that motherfucking money up in the product knapsack, and 2 words.
Called up the homies and I'm asking y'all, which part are y'all playing basketball? Get me on the court and I'm troubled. Last week messed around and got a triple-double. Freaking brothers every way like MJ. I can't believe today was a good day.
This dude loved basketball so much that he created his own league, the Big Three, that just completed its first season. The only other rapper to get that deep into pro ball was Master P, who did training camp with the Charlotte Hornets and actually played an exhibition game as a Toronto Raptor. There was Chris Webber, Troy Hudson, Steve Francis, Tony Parker, in French.
Baby, arrête un peu tes bornés. Baby, arrête un peu de me mater. Lady, t'es charmante et tu le sais, mais sache que seule l'ambiance a de l'effet.
Delonte West, Meta World Peace, Lewis Williams, Iman Shumpert.
My kicks? Shit. They harder to get than my bitch. Entertained by the stairs and the lights. But you can lose all of that shit quick. So for now I'ma chill with my brethren. In the fog with the ice for the fifth. Gold chains be tucked in the shirt. You lose it all trying to snatch my shit.
Kevin Durant, Marquise Daniels, Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant.
COVID. Your love's a sword, slicing gently through my body, burn so sweet. Blood boils when you speak, makes me weak, but I refuse to weep. Yet when I sleep, I feel tears trickling down my cheek.
Lance Stevenson, Joe Smith, and Steven Jackson. But the player/MC who's been the most active and consistent in recent years is Damian Lillard.
A blessing interception, city known for homicide, majority depression. Grinding in the gym so I could live through the recession. Real goons show me love cause they can feel how I'm connected. Background of a street dude, mind of a scholar. Just to pop our collar, man, we climbing for the dollar. I mean it when I say it, bro, we started from the bottom. Childhood friends dropping like leaves in this autumn.
But we gotta talk about the Rakim of all rapper athletes, Shaquille O'Neal. He made his rap debut as Shaq Fu with his favorite group at the time, the Fu-Schnickens.
I'm the hooper, hyper, protected by Viper. When I'm out the hooping, yo, you better decipher. In other words, you better make a funky decision, cause I'm gonna be a Shaq knife and cut you with precision.
Bars. Then there was Skills off his platinum debut, Shaq Diesel.
You wanna fight, come fight me. I hit you with the wow. See, I get dirty after dark. I treat you like Spielberg. You get your ass kicked in the park.
Bars. Then on his gold sophomore LP, Shaq Fu The Return, he even linked up with the Wu.
Life's a B and then your D. Refer to Nasty Nine's Illmatic. CD number 3 static. You don't want none, you best to keep looking. AEIOU's a ass whooping.
Know how I be. Last week Kobe couldn't do without me. You know how I be. Last week Kobe couldn't do without me. I call myself big, but I'm not as good as Biggie. I call myself big cause I live next to Diddy. Excuse me, Diddy lived next to me. So in the hood, dog, I feel like B.I.G. Cause if Biggie was still here, he would be right there on Star Island in the mansion somewhere chilling, sitting on about $500 million.
From an underground rap album from the 90s, pairing top hip-hop producers from that era with NBA players. The album was called B-Ball's Best Kept Secret. to a hip-hop street ball video game called NBA Street, to NBA's brightest stars in Kevin Durant and LeBron James collabing together on a rap track.
Now I'm grown up, I got a couple dollars on me. Spent a semester in school, I ain't no scholar, homie. Who with me, can dudes with me, shoot with me.
Mama knew was a star from the baby bib. I had to make it out, no other option. No, ain't no in the world that I ain't copping. Yo, you already know what it is.
Hip-hop and basketball/sports have always held a tight bond in the culture that consumes our matrix. Originating with Allen Iverson and his hip-hop style in the NBA.
Imagery of hip-hop that dominated popular culture reached the players of the NBA. The NBA was searching for the next Michael Jordan, and the closest thing to him arrived in Los Angeles. But little did we know that Jordan's successor as the face of the league would be the first Allen Iverson. He was who a generation of players wanted to be, and exactly what the NBA didn't want. Where stars of the past wanted to show the world respectable images, as those were the way to earn endorsement riches, Iverson did the opposite and still became a megastar. He still hung with his friends from back home, and he still dressed like they did. He had no desire to become someone else just because he was good at basketball.
This is my place, man. This is why I can breathe at. Get away from the fake superstar life, man. Come on back home, man. Around your people, man. Stop feeling like Allen Iverson, man. You know, the real Allen Iverson.
He was unapologetically himself, a product of a part of America ravaged by the war on drugs, and of a generation that knew how they dressed didn't make them poor. So why change just because they got rich? He terrified much of America. Where Shaquille O'Neal made family-friendly rap albums, Iverson made hardcore gangster rap that earned admonishment from NBA Commissioner David Stern. And after the Malice at the Palace, when the NBA desperately wanted to show America its league wasn't full of thugs, it instituted a dress code that seemed to point directly at Iverson.
Players must dress in business casual attire during any team or league business, so expect to see sport jackets and slacks rather than throwback jerseys and t-shirts.
Honestly, I'm 30 years old. I should be able to wear what I want to wear.
The league let him have his time, but then it had to stop. Out went the Answer's enormous white tees, and in came the fashion show we see in the tunnels of NBA arenas every night. Iverson was the defining player of his era, whether you liked it or not.
Try to stop me, cops want to knock me, chickens let it gobble me up, jewels stay trump, wrong things leave you slumped, don't be a tester, only leads to failure. Rappers think they're greater because the closet's full of gators. Say the drama, lyrical bomber, take your style to the trauma center, dismember crews any battle I enter. Relentless on tracks like I do ball courts.
You can't talk about sports and hip-hop without mentioning Stuart Scott. I know he wasn't an MC, and he wasn't strictly a basketball analyst, but no one did more to bridge the gap between sports and hip-hop culture than he did. So in honor of his contributions, we're gonna leave you with this clip. Booyah!
It's hard to remember how revolutionary it was when Stewart brought a little of that hip-hop attitude and style and flair to SportsCenter. And it seems like nothing controversial now to say booyah or as cool as the other side of the pillow, but at the time it was a little attitude that SportsCenter hadn't really felt before. So he brought that and it changed everything.
But it's funny how it can even weave into the world of comedy, with legendary comedian Dave Chappelle on his Chappelle Show doing a skit about legendary musician Prince playing basketball.
The story that we heard on the Chappelle Show,
yeah,
with the whole basketball game,
yeah.
Number one, how accurate was that?
It was totally accurate to every point of the whole story.
This bores me. Is anyone up for a game of basketball? How about you and your friends versus me and the revolution?
So I was like, this nigga must be joking, man. I don't know where he's going with this. But he was dead serious.
So how did Eddie Murphy and Charlie and all them take the loss?
Oh, they were laughing and dying. Ask Charlie. They were like, what? It was so funny. You had to recognize, you had to laugh. You had to give Prince respect and his props. He was like dribbling around you like Michael Jordan and shooting like Michael Jordan. I mean, forget about it. And they laughed, and we were all friends, and they laughed, and it was like, yeah, Prince did it.
Prince did it. Yeah, so it was a 3-on-3 game.
Yeah, man. That's how it went down.
Guitarist Mickey Free, then with the group Shalimar, suggests a detail that didn't make it into the Chappelle sketch, fueling Prince's fire to get on the court.
And so we used to go out all the time to this one hot spot in LA, a few of them. And Prince would always be there. I'd have my little table. Prince has his table. Eddie Murphy has his table. You know, and we all used to talk and hang out and stuff. And Prince would have people come up to his house after the clubs would close to hear new records, to hang with him or whatever. And I'd been there a couple times, but on that particular night, Eddie Murphy and his crew came.
He brought a big boom box with his new song. Party all the time. Party all the time. Prince is like, I don't have time for that. Let's play basketball.
And Prince's brother was with us, who was a huge, tall guy, basketball player. So we went out in Beverly Hills to the court. Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy, and Uncle Ray, me and Prince's brother, and those were the teams. And I took the ball out, and Prince said, give me the ball back. And I was like, okay. And Eddie Murphy's looking at me like, oh yeah, free, it's on.
Because we're in club clothes from the club, right?
You were wearing a blouse.
Well, I call it a shirt with ruffles, Chris. You know what I'm saying?
You know what we're gonna call this? The shirts against the blouse. I learned something that day. Don't never judge a book by its cover. This cat could ball, man. Play ball. He was crossing cats like Iverson. Crossing me up. Then my knees slammed together. He was getting rebounds like Charles Barkley, snatching it down.
Shoot the J. Shoot it! Run a play. Computer blue. Darling Pickett.
They was kind of setting these fruity picks, man, you know what I'm saying? Like you be trying to check Prince, and then you got this cat standing behind you, and he's getting close to you, and his hands is out like this. You don't really want to be bent over in front of a cat like that, you know what I'm saying? Prince was incredible. Prince, you got a towel, man? It's kind of hot out here, man.
Why don't you purify yourself in the waters of Lake Minnetonka?
Shot after shot, like nothing but net.
Good. In your face, Charlie Murphy.
He was like Steph Curry, baby. Then he goes to the far right corner, fadeaway jump shot, nothing but net.
Good. Good hustle.
Yo, man, I'm not on your team. I mean, it wasn't even like it was close. It was a landslide victory.
Game. Blouses.
I was there, I seen it. I dare you to challenge Prince to a game of ball one-on-one. Challenge him. All right? And make sure your people is there to see the game. Because you might get embarrassed. Trust me.
All right, he beat you in basketball, and then what happened?
After it was all over, he took us in the house and served us pancakes. Well, I gotta admit, it's a good game.
I wish I could say the same for you and your crew of flunkies. Do you guys want some grapes?
I mean, you know, there's some great storytellers in the world that we live in today, man.
Bitches.
And then we ate blueberry pancakes. Blueberry pancakes.
Blueberry pancakes.
Man, they were good too.
It was Dave came to one of my shows after, and he's going, "Did you see the skit?" I said, "Yeah, come on, sit down." And then we're just sitting, chilling, and then out of nowhere, I just said, "Dave, want some pancakes?"
He was playing basketball in 6-inch heels.
Well.
How's that even possible?
Dude, he was doing that one step back shot. He would be dribbling, you'd come up on it, he'd step back, nothing but net.
Do you ever play basketball with him? I always hear that he was a good basketball player.
He talked so much trash, he thought he had a real jump shot. You know, and I had to remember it was Prince that I was playing against, so I had to back off, right? You know, but he really thought he could play basketball.
The bond is strong. The folklore is abundant. Yet the relationship between hip-hop and sports keeps finding ways to evolve and grow into something bigger than it was previously. It was always a business, but in the 21st century, rappers and ballers alike now cross the lines of these cultures as a real business.
Antonio Brown and Kanye West. Talk about a match made in heaven. And while we know AB has attempted to launch a rap career, this isn't about that. The once shirtless receiver announced himself president of Donda Sports on social media while saying he purchased the suite for the Super Bowl on behalf of his new venture.
These guys called me to win the Super Bowl, not for the toilet bowl.
Heck, maybe he and Ye will even live in a stadium together for a while like Yeezy did when making the Donda album.
Prince is a music god in his own right, who just so happens to like sports. But the person we will be focusing on is not only widely accepted as a rap god, now he is striving to become a deity in the sports realms. None other than the Jigga Man, Hov, Jay-Z.
But when Puff came out with Biggie, it was like, well, this incredibly talented entrepreneur with this maybe greatest rapper ever. Jay-Z is the greatest rapper ever when you take the body of work. It's really, there's no real debate to be had about that looking at his entire career. Even if he's Hank Aaron, if he never hit 70 home runs, boy, he hit 48 home runs every year for 30 years now, whatever it is. But also the greatest entrepreneur in the history of hip-hop at the very least, and he's crossed over.
He's Diddy and Biggie combined.
Combined.
I sell kilos of coke. I'm guessing I can sell CDs. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Let me handle my business, damn.
I sell kilos of coke. I'm guessing I can sell CDs. I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman.
It's a name change according to the owners. What is that announcement?
Well, the ownership, we have decided that the official name for the Nets will be the Brooklyn Nets.
Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah, which makes me right. See, I'm really giddy right now.
I
Brooklyn
know.
Nets.
He is a draw, and I've heard from the agent community that they're worried.
Certainly from our competitor's standpoint, they've got to be concerned. Jay-Z and Rock Nation bring a lot to the party. He's got reach to places that probably are different than what typically CAA is involved in.
He's done a pretty superb job of picking players that can trigger multiple revenue streams. They are good for contract negotiations, they are good for endorsements, they're good for crossover entertainment projects.
He's got the starting quarterback of a New York football team. Durant is there for marketing. CeCe, he's got a starting pitcher for the New York Yankees. It doesn't get a whole lot better than that.
In terms of negotiating, I don't think he negotiates the contracts.
With guys who are well established and experienced in the business backing him up, there's no limit as to what he can do.
I am confident that there are more players recruiting Jay-Z than vice versa. Are they overselling? I'm going to get you in videos or get in movies or music? Perhaps. But there's an entree there that can be used.
Jay-Z, a legend in his own right, has provided another surprise by becoming the new president of basketball operations for Puma. The historic brand has relaunched their basketball line in incredible fashion by inking two potential top 5 picks in DeAndre Ayton and Marvin Bagley. The two big men have been well regarded as some of the best prospects to enter the NBA within the past decade, and their talents will certainly keep all eyes on Puma during the brand's relaunch. Throughout his career, Jay-Z has been regarded as an exceptional businessman, and this latest venture just adds another trophy to his mantle. For his role with Puma, Hov will oversee the selections to the Puma basketball roster, as well as assist in the art design and overall concept and direction of the brand.
I said no to the Super Bowl. You need me, I don't need you. Every night we in the end zone. Tell the NFL we in stadiums too.
Jay-Z claimed to be a supporter of Colin. Told people not to perform at the Super Bowl because of the treatment that the NFL did to Colin. Now he's going to be a part owner. And
the NFL reached an agreement with rapper Jay-Z's entertainment company, Rock Nation, to advise the league on entertainment offerings like the Super Bowl halftime show. The deal also puts the company in charge of amplifying the league's social justice program called Inspire Change.
I think we passed kneeling. Everyone knows what the issue is. I'm not minimizing that part of it because that has to happen. That's a necessary part of the process. How are you going forward and Cap doesn't have a job? This wasn't about him having a job.
it's kind of despicable.
Well, some of the biggest names in entertainment are teaming up to buy Philadelphia-based sports retailer Mitchell & Ness. The company that helped make throwbacks cool again will soon be owned by Fanatics Sportswear and a group that includes rappers Meek Mill, Jay-Z, and Lil Baby. 76ers co-owner Michael Rubin owns Fanatics, and he's driving the acquisition. Mitchell & Ness is the oldest sports apparel company in Philadelphia, and we're told all of its workers will keep their jobs as part of the deal.
Jay-Z is an incredibly knowledgeable sports mind. This brother can show up on First Take. He doesn't want to. But he can show up on First Take and debate all day, every day on whatever topic we broach because he follows all of this stuff.
To now, Jay-Z, hip-hop's god, becoming a power player in the sports world, potentially gunning for majority ownership in a sports team. It seems fitting as Jay-Z equals 62 in English ordinal, while hip-hop god equals 62 in reduction.
Over the guard, Mike Jordan, the rap outside, Jay working. Now watch how quickly I drop 50.
And in the reverse of that, God equals 26 in English ordinal, while sports equals 26 in reduction. Jay-Z and God also equals 17 in reduction, while sports equals 107 in English ordinal. When you calculate the zero out, being a placeholder, it just equals 17. And finally, God and sports both equal 55 in reverse ordinal. So you can clearly see as this confirms Jay-Z's role in sports.
Slimmy at the rucker wanna leave and spin with me. I consistently take him out the park like Ken Griffey. Do you believe it's over the God?
Jay-Z was an integral part of bringing sports jerseys into the mainstream rap world in the early 2000s, which is why his Mitchell & Ness deal isn't so far-fetched. Though I do believe Jay-Z has a tendency to extort the city of Philly for all their culture, assets, and equity, the godfather of the rap game has serial sports ventures that are now adding up for him to one day be a majority owner of a professional sports franchise.
I'm a multi-millionaire, so how is it I'm still the hardest nigga here? I don't be in the project hallway talking about how I be in the project all day.
The Jigga Man most likely won't be the first one that is black, but he will surely be the first one that can rap.